circles, trying to pinpoint who I truly am. As my head gets dizzier and dizzier, my body comes to a halt. I remember the one thing which truly illustrates my intricate identity, my name. Anaise Amer. It says it all. Off the top of my head, I think exotic. Yet I cannot help but feel in a limbo, as if half of me is in the West and the other half in the East. Living my whole life as one of the many Palestinians of the diaspora, in the words of Ghassan Kanafani, I felt as if I were under siege. I didn't see a single Arab here. I was a tiny island, alone and isolated in a sea of raging hostility. September 11th, 2001 marks the isolation of my family from the larger American community. Although I was only 2 years old, as I grew, alienation became a constant feeling. Post 9/11 for my family and I was an awakening, a pivotal moment, forcing us to restructure our lifestyle completely. My father, Mohammed, stopped going to the mosque. We were tailed on the route home from school, and people called the house saying, "Go back to where you came from." The long-lasting effects of 9/11 pushed my family further away from Islam. Yet being stripped of our religion was not synonymous with forgetting our Palestinian roots. My mother, Nadia, often refers to me as a mirror image of her at the age of 16, not only in body, but also in mind. A lost, conflicted Arab American contemplating her existence in a world where one's identity should not be compartmentalized. Born to a Palestinian refugee and a Polish immigrant to America, my mother's identity has become the epitome of her life. Even now, at the age of 45, my mother is not fully content with her displaced identity. She feels a void that will never truly be filled. Likewise, my identity has been shaped by my Arab American upbringing. My olive skin tone, almond eyes, and unusual curly brown hair made me stand out in a sea of black and white. During my middle school years, I conformed to the standards of the typical Princeton Day School student. However, what saddens me the most is that I chose to push away my Palestinian roots and act as if they never existed. Consequently, I forgot that my appearance would give room for people to wonder where I was actually from. From the wide array of guesses I most commonly received, Brazilian, Hawaiian, Italian, and Native American, from within me arose emotions of guilt, frustration, and confusion. Guilt because I had been hiding the beauty of my individuality, frustration because no one knew what Palestine was, and confusion because I chose to hide who I was. As my 8th grade year came to an end, and I was about to enter the world of high school, I used the summer as my platform to cope with the struggle that was my identity. It became my stage to discover, acquire, and embrace more about myself as a Palestinian American. This same summer, my older sister Mesa went off to study Arabic. As she fled off on her own endeavors, I took on some of my own. In her room, on her wall, were pictures of Leila Khalid, Mahmoud Darwish, Edward Said, Suhair Hamad, and George Habash, all Palestinian prodigy. I looked up and found myself admiring the streets of Jerusalem and the children of the Aida refugee camp. Her shelves were stuffed with poetry and political books, all on the topic of Palestine. Slowly, I became addicted to knowing more about the Palestinian struggle for existence. Now, as I reflect on what the Palestinian struggle to exist truly is, I realize that I myself embody it. My reality as a Palestinian American living in displacement illustrates its essence. Although I have yet to experience its amazing aroma, rich soil, and the view of its few olive trees, I feel just as close to Palestine as someone who lives there. Whenever Palestine is brought up in discussion, I feel the need to defend it with every drop of blood in my body. One of the most crucial years of my life was just last year. As a freshman, I went to high school headstrong, not knowing the obstacles that I was about to face. Living in Princeton taught me to live peacefully alongside Jews and Israeli Americans. Yet the tension of the conflict was brought into the atmosphere of my daily life. Sadly, the mere fact that I, a Palestinian, was right in front of them filled them with anger. How could a Palestinian be so civil? How could a Palestinian be so educated? How could a Palestinian be painted with a different brush, a brush they'd never seen before? This tension only furthered my Palestinian patriotism, but feelings of alienation still existed. My solid sense of Arab pride drove me to apply to King's Academy as an Arabic year student. I was seeking a safe haven, a refuge away from the hostility and alienation that I felt in Princeton, for being an Arab, for being a Muslim, for being a Palestinian, for being me. I wanted to feel a sense of belonging and affinity for the first time in my life. I believed that King's was truly the place where I would feel this. Yet, as I come to an Arab country for the first time in my life, my American accent, strange sports, and mindset give me the same feeling of alienation. At a stalemate, I contemplate where it is I truly fit in. Yet, having experienced both larger compartments of my identity, I find no answer as to where I feel most content. I know that I feel content playing lacrosse, and I know that I feel content listening to Mahmoud Darwish's poetry. However, is there really a place in this world for me, other than in my own mind, where I can feel full belonging? I appreciate my individuality as a Palestinian American, as I am enriched by its uniqueness every day. I appreciate living in America, and I appreciate being given the opportunity to live and study in the Middle East. But I just wish that they both appreciate me back. Thank you.